What's going on, y'all? So I'm out here at the bench in the backyard again. Today we are going to be doing a little quick repot on this Juniper chinensis. Going to be putting it in a pond basket and just trying to get a little bit more air into the roots and see if we can't get this a little bit bigger. Let's get into it. Got a lot of roots down here on the bottom. You can see up in here. And it's really loose soil. It's the soil that it came in when I got it. I believe I got this one at Lowe's. Again, it's Juniper chinensis Hollywood. And we're just going to come in here. We're going to come out radially to see if we can't find the base of the trunk. The top is real loose. And we're starting to get into it. Down here, we got some roots circling the trunk. As we pull out, should be able to get down in further into the base. Just coming in here and stabbing the soil just to loosen everything up a little bit, even more, and then coming in and dragging out from the center of the root mass out to the edge to try and get some of this untangled. And here we've got big circling root. Find out where you're coming from. Looks like you're coming from in here. And just as we go into this, I'm trying not to damage roots too much. It's a little late in the season, but it should be fine. It's growing vigorously. Nothing seems to be wrong with the tree at the moment, so we'll be all right. We're not taking any of the foliage off yet. We'll see how it responds to the repot, and then maybe finally take off these 3 branches up top in a couple of months or so, towards the end of fall. Yeah, we're just going around. Start on one end, we'll try and circle all the way around. And this is going to be going into a compost with a lot of grit in it. So what I'm going to do is I've got a compost blend that's topsoil and a little bit of mushroom compost and a little bit of manure. So it's a fairly nutritious soil, so I won't have to worry about fertilizing right at the beginning, which is good. That saved my roots that little bit of trauma of a heavy fertilized soil at the beginning. The inside of this has got a lot of pine bark in it. Some pumice, looks like. No, it's all just decomposed pine bark. Uh-oh. So we just get in, open up these, y'all hush now. Come in, loosen up these roots. Get a lot of the soil out. Hey, dogs. I apologize. They don't have any manners. But that's Max and Sophie. Sophie is my parents' dog. We're keeping her for the next few weeks or months or something like that. And, if she sees anything out in the yard, she barks. And if she barks, my dog barks. And, well, I mean, that's just how it is. All right. So now we've got a good bit of the soil out. Get that down into the catchment. We can come in and try and figure out what of these we're going to keep. This big one, giant one that's circling around, is obviously going to go away. But like I said, most of these, I'm going to try and keep as much of this root mass as I can, just so we're not shocking it too much. Here you can see this root is coming out this way and then cutting across. So we're going to try and get down in there to where it comes out. Try not to cut anything else with it. Oh, that's stubborn. Had to go in and grab my branch cutters. Whew, that's a big boy. Some of this on the bottom we're obviously going to cut off, but I'd like to get the big stuff around the outside out first. But yeah, you can see that was a big old root, and it was basically coming out from the trunk this way and then cut over and cut straight down. So that's going to go away. Let's see here, anything else? We're not going to dig down into the middle of this tree. I want to keep that soil intact, and we'll take care of it the next time we repot. But as we come out, we want to get up close to the trunk just to see if we can't find a nice little flare where we can set our nabari to. Uh-oh. And here we found another crosser. This one's girdling, so it's coming up right to the trunk. Circling around. And then diving down into the root mass, of course. So what we'll do, because we're not going to dig down into the center of this root mass, we'll cut that part off, bring it back around to where it's coming out. It looks like it came out from the inside of the trunk, or from the inside of that root mass. Oof. Coming back down this way. Yeah, it's coming from right up underneath the tree, right up on the bottom. So we'll come in here, clean this out a little bit, find as low as we can on it. And go in with our branch cutter. and snip it off. And down at the bottom. But yeah, you can see it's a girdling root that was basically going from there all the way around to there, and that'll just choke it off and you won't be able to save anything from it. Alright, that's about all the root work we're going to do on the top. So I'll come in here with my shears and just clean off all the branches growing down. Down in the bottom, got a few thick branches we can follow up. Let's see, I might be able to get a little bit more of this. That first giant root that we cut off, might be able to get a little bit more of it out. See if we can't dig down a little bit closer. And so yeah, as I'm doing this, I'm using the wooden chopstick to try and be as gentle on the roots as I can. Yeah, you can see sticking up. We'll come in right down at the base of that. Chop through it. So yeah, there we go. There's that. We'll set this aside while we get our pond basket ready. Get these roots out of the way. And I'll be right back. All right, so here we are, pond basket. I've got some 2mm wire, just aluminum wire. And what we'll do is we'll go in and feed it up through the bottom. Great thing with these pond baskets is they've got holes in them, and so you can put the wire basically wherever you need to. We're just going to be crossing it over the top, over the middle, and bringing it up and out so that we have the wire here when we need it, but it is folded out and out of the way. Now this is my normal compost mixture. It's topsoil, a little bit of, like I said, mushroom compost, and a little bit of manure. And then we are going to add to that a couple of scoops of pumice. And I just use an old plastic training pot as a scoop. I mean, since we're just measuring, we don't have to be exact in our measurements. I can just use that. And we're going to mix this up. Make sure we have a nice, well draining soil mix. As we just mix it up, move a little bit out of the way, and start loading up our pot. And what we want is we want our top to be mounted up in the middle like this. And then as we set it down, we'll just twist and set it in. A little bit more soil around the top and outside. We'll grab our chopstick, get down in between the roots and wiggle it around a little bit to try and get some of the soil to get down into the roots. Once we have that, we will actually bring these crossing around, give them a quick little tie down. Making sure we're not crossing over any of the roots. Uh-oh. And we have both ends free. Then we are going to grab a pair of gin pliers. You can use needle nose pliers, whatever. It doesn't really matter. We'll pull and twist. Pull and twist. Pull and twist. Pull and twist. And this we can either just push down, or we can come in, clean up the end a little bit, and push that down. And we'll do the same thing over on this side. Pull out and twist. Make sure that we're twisting always in the direction that we were. Pull and twist. Pull and twist. I'm right-handed, so this is a little bit awkward. Pull and twist. And we're not going anywhere. Again, we'll snip off, push down, and then go back in. Make sure we get down into the root ball, twisting, going in round in a circle till we get and this soil mix was about 2 parts of the soil substrate and about 1 part of pumice, just to give it some aeration. And that's what the pond basket was for anyway, is to get a little bit more air into the roots so we can push a little bit more growth. Should have made a little bit more of the soil, but I think I should have just enough to get up into the basket. A little bit of a press down. If there's any roots that are pointing up, we can actually come in here and snip off any of the small ones, because we didn't do a whole lot of root pruning. So missing this one little root over here is not going to be too bad. Come in here, this one's growing up. That one we'll be able to cover. It's going down. And then we'll just water it into the pot. So I'll meet you over there where I'm watering, and we'll go from there. And here, all we're going to do is take the shower function on this little wand that I got. We're going to go over and soak the soil. Now, as we're doing this, we want to make sure that we're getting all the parts. You can come in, get a little bit of water on the sides. That'll just help kind of force that water into the center of the tree. Just because the capillary action will work to kind of help move it around. We're just filling this up, and then in about 10 minutes we'll come back, wet it down again, and then we'll get to wiring the shoots down with some guy wires to kind of bring this down this way and bring this up and around. So until then, I'll be right back. Now we're back, all freshly watered. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of damp sphagnum moss, and we're going to spread this around to kind of protect any of the roots that might have gotten uncovered a little bit, give them a little chance to recover. It'll also help keep a little bit of the evaporation. It'll try and keep that to a minimum. We'll do this around the top, and we'll take this off in a couple of weeks or so, maybe a month, and then maybe put a little decorative moss at the top. Probably not. Just let it go. Let this sit there. And now let's get into wiring. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this down and around towards the front. That is the front of the tree that you're looking at right now. Probably right off here. Actually, no, straight on, like that. Pretty awesome. And so what we'll do is we'll bring this down a little bit towards the front, maybe hanging off about right there. And we'll try and get a little bit more of a bend on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a guy wire. We're going to go from right here down to the front, pull this way, and then we're going to grab a guy wire and bring this in. So we're going to have two guy wires on this guy, and we'll probably just need one on this guy, probably right about where my finger is, coming down towards this corner. So what I'm going to go over here and do is grab some 1mm wire. So I'm going to take this 1mm wire that I have, measure it out from here down to the corner. Yeah, I know I didn't have to go around the tree. I could have just gone in front. It'll be all right. So we'll take it, go ahead and snip that. And another piece won't have to be nearly as long. We'll snip that. Up here, I've got just some little white pieces of tubing. I don't know if you can see that well. There you go. It's just basically pieces of straw that have been cut up to kind of use that instead of just straight wire. That way we don't have quite as much. We'll spread out the weight on it just a little bit. So what I'll do is come down here about where this gin is, poke it through a hole that's already in the pot, which is real nice. Give it a little twist just to hold it. We'll adjust how we need to kind of bring that down and forward. I may pull a guide wire from up here down to the back just to, yeah, I'll wind up doing that. Let me go ahead and do that. That way we don't have to worry about this falling. That's about. But again, we'll take this same 1mm wire, same piece of plastic, thread it through. That way we're not cutting in. Bring it down here. And of course, my wire's not long enough. We'll use this one over here when we get to that. So let me go ahead and grab a piece from there. And we'll go all the way down here. Give me a little bit extra room. Again, little piece of plastic. You can use like rubber tubing if you've got any of that laying around. This is just something that I had, and it seemed to work for me so far. So piece of plastic there, and then we'll just come down back of the pot, same way we did the last one. Come down into the soil however we can, out through a hole. This one we're not really putting a whole lot of tension on. This is just to keep the tree upright as we bend forward, and again over this way. So this will just help us to do that. All right, so for this next guy wire, again, it's just a little shorter one because we just have to go from here, and then we can go up through the box. Now I think we want to go around to the front a little bit, and we'll go through this hole. Bring it around. And tighten it off. And make sure that this piece of plastic, again, is up against the trunk of the tree. Bring it around, bring it back up so that you can actually see what's going on. Bring it back this way. Now what we're going to do is, where are my gin pliers? There they are. We're going to grab this wire and twist. Try not to get our pliers caught in. When you're doing this, if you put a little bit of pressure back here on the branch, you know where it's going to without snaps, and then twist. We're actually going to go out a little bit on this, try and get it to go in a little bit further, and then from here we can come in press down a little bit more. Get a twist in and tighten with our pliers. And now we can come in, pull this up a little bit. And then this is sitting just below pot level, so we can get a semi-cascade pot for this when we actually do up pot. This will be sitting there. Let's grab our other one. Again, piece of plastic. Put that on there. Make sure you're not trapping any foliage. Bring this down a little bit. And just tie in. And so there we have that. So we've got this little swoop coming down this way. And then this, I'm going to put on another one. See if we can't lift this up and back. That'll give us a little bit better angle on this cascade. This one's real short, so don't even have to measure. Grab a little piece of plastic. Up, if we can find the end of it. Up and in. And twist it off. If we need to, we can just take this, slide down a little bit, and tie it off. And there we have that. So this is what we're going to have. This is going to go into the shade for about a week, week and a half, maybe two. Just until it gets a little bit of time to get acclimated to its pot. We'll probably be watering this. Not real sure. This is the first time I've used a pond basket for this, so we'll see about how often, if we're having to water more often or about the same. This one was taken in. I was watering it every day, day and a half. So I come out here every morning, check on my trees, and I'll either water morning or afternoon. I mean, depending on the tree. Some of them will get watered in the morning, some of them will get watered in the afternoon. Some of them will get watered morning and afternoon because they're just little thirsty trees. So that's this one. Again, later on, probably this fall, we'll be taking these off. It's these 3 shoots right here, and probably these 2 as well. So we'll have just this clump of foliage here and this clump of foliage here. Or if you think it looks better like this, then all right. So just a old soil bag. Take this, and go like that. It's a possibility. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to want to do, but I don't know. It kind of looks okay up there. I wish it was. I can always bring it in and pull this down and out. Pull this down and out. Have another little pad up here, maybe. These will most likely be going, I guess, unless I plan to keep everything. But we'll see. I'm not sure. We'll find out, see how this responds. Hopefully didn't do too much to the roots at this point in the year. It's May, so it's a little late to be doing roots, but why not? It's a little thing that's been going on. While I have this out, I might as well, because I haven't done it yet, go ahead, a little bit of lime sulfur. Got this on Amazon. I don't know if you can read that. It's a veterinary dip, but it is 97.8%. And I mean, everything that I've read online, looked at, people are using like 29%. So just titrated that down, about 2.5 parts to 1, something like that, 2 to 5, I guess. Not the best smelling stuff, but it does work. So what I do is just got a old brush from painting miniatures. This is all that it's used for now. I don't use it on my minis anymore. But a little bit of lime sulfur, and then we're going to go in and paint the deadwood that's on it. So we've got this up here. This is not, this is all been, this was done about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Just letting it, I just let it dry out a little bit, and then coming in here, go ahead and paint. And just like you would painting anything else, just get a little bit on the brush and go at it. Try not to get any on the deadwood or on the live vein, and anywhere that you have any of this textured stuff where either a branch was torn down, which is what happened here. I had there was an apex right here, and I just grabbed and ripped down just to give it a little bit more texture up in here. And so just make sure you get all the sides. If you do get it on the soil, don't worry about it too much. It is a fungicide and miticide. So just, if that does happen, go in and just flush the root system with a whole bunch of water. And you don't have to worry too much about it doing anything horrible, doing anything bad to the tree. It's, like I said, just a fungicide. This has been used as a fungicide and miticide for years and years. They don't use it that much for it anymore, just because there are now so many more better products for that. But yeah, this will come in. We'll make sure we get all of the open surfaces. But yeah, so this is just basically being used as a wood hardener. So what we're doing is we're just trying to get in here and protect this deadwood for as long as we can. Make sure that it doesn't just rot away as it ages. We'll come all the way down here to where this turns into shari. And this bit of shari we're going to be widening out over the next couple of years until all we have is basically the live vein that's keeping this alive. And so we're going to have to find out where that comes through. I know it's going to be obviously this side of the branch right here coming down. But we'll widen this out and then probably try and get some to come up along this way as well. It's not a twisted trunk. There might be a little bit of a twist in here, so we will find out when we look at that. But yeah, eventually this should have quite a nice shari on it. Come in here, make sure we get all of the deadwood. This little piece down here from a couple of years ago, or a year ago, I guess. Just to save, this one's probably not going to last very long. I did not treat it last year with lime sulfur, so it's got about a year's worth of decay on it. Although it doesn't look to be in too bad of a shape. So we'll get this one more little bit. There we go. So all this is painted, and then as it dries out, it'll turn it a sharp white. So there we go. This is the little Hollywood Juniper that I've been working on for about a year. And hopefully with this pond basket we'll be able to get some nice size on the rest of the trunk, let it grow out, thicken up a little bit, and there we are. So one more spin around to right there. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me out on the bench in the backyard. Just remember, grow them big, but keep them small.